Shri Chaitanya Manobhishta. Stop it. Swayam Rupa Kadama Dadati Swapada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Bhagavān Uvaca. Tāni sarvāṇi saṁyamya yukta āsīta mat-paraḥ yasyendriyāṇi tasya prajñā pratiṣṭhitā. Tāni sarvāṇi saṁyamya yukta āsīta mat-paraḥ vaśe yasyendriyāṇi tasya prajñā pratiṣṭhitā. 2.61. Tāni sarvāṇi saṁyamya yukta āsīta mat-paraḥ vaśe yasyendriyāṇi tasya prajñā pratiṣṭhitā. Sthita prajñā. Sthita prajñā. When can one be steadily situated in intelligence, steadily situated in bhakti? When? We have heard. When one is atmani evatmana tushtaha, dukkeshu anudvigna manah sukeshu vigata spruha vitaraga bhaya krodha. And then yada sambharate chayam kurmoni angani ye sarvasha vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina raso varcham rapo rasopi yasya. We have heard all that, and then Bhagavān finally says, yeah, so in this way, when one tāni sarvāṇi saṁyamya yukta āsīta mat-paraḥ, in this way, when sarvāṇi saṁyamya, when some controls the senses, all the senses, vaśe yasyendriyāṇam, keeping them under full control, vaśe, keeping the senses under the full control. Yukta āsīta mat-paraḥ, then should be when one is situated, mat-paraḥ in me, yukta āsīta mat-paraḥ, situated in me. Bhagavan is saying, when one controls his senses completely, with that subjugated senses, when one is situated in me, then he is to be known as tasya prajñā pratiṣṭhitā. He is to be known that it is to be known that his intelligence is established. Tasya prajñā pratiṣṭhitā. Then it is to be known that his intelligence is established. Bhagavan is saying this. Bhagavan says, yeah, sense control is needed. So uska sense control karna, and doing that sense control, having subjugated all the senses, now situate yourself within me. That is Bhagavān vaśe, Shri Bhagavān vaśe. Because Bhagavān is talking about Nishkam Karma Yoga. It's such a dry, mechanical philosophy. Very theoretically very nice. Very nice. You do the sense control, complete sense control, and then yukta, āsīta, mat-paraḥ, and then you situate in the absolute truth. This is for those. It's an ascending process. In the ascending process, because Bhagavan has to speed the ascending process for those empirical jnanis. Because the Nishkama Karma Yogis, their goal is Brahman. For those whose goal is Brahman, that's there. It's an ascending process. He says, okay, control the senses, and after controlling, you situate in myself. But Bhakti Vedanta purports the their saving grace. That's why all the purports are like, no. You bring in Krishna there. Otherwise, no question of sense control. Philosophy, it's very nice to hear the dry philosophy, you do the sense control. There is no question of sense control unless you bring in Krishna, says Srila Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada Uvacha. Prabhupada explains, bring in Krishna. There is no question of sense control without being situated in Krishna, says. What sense control? What sense control did Saubhari Muni have? What sense control did Durvasa Muni have? After doing such a long process of Ashtanga Yoga, they all got the siddhis also. They got the siddhis through Ashtanga Yoga. How much of sense control did they have? How much were they situated in the absolute truth? It didn't take much for Saubhari Muni. Went under the sea doing his meditation. It didn't take much. Just two fishes coming together. And his subtle body is deep inside the ocean. That is such a siddhi, Ashtanga siddhi. What sense control could he have? What sense control did Durvasa Muni could have? Such a tapasya he did. But little, when he came to know Ambrish Maharaj accepted water, just that's all. He did not insult. Ambrish Maharaj did not insult Durvasa. He just accepted water, a little water. Durvasa did not even care to know why he had to take that little drops of water. Even if he cared to know, he had no control to even consider. Why Ambrish Maharaj? How Ambrish Maharaj is right in doing so? None of those things. What sense control did these great yogis had? But on the other hand, Ambrish Maharaj had very great sense control because yukta, āsīta, mat-paraḥ, he was situated, completely situated in Bhagavan, completely situated. His senses were completely situated in Bhagavan. That's why he was situated in Bhagavan, because his senses were completely engaged in Bhagavan. Unless one's senses are engaged in Bhagavan, senses cannot be controlled. the senses have to be engaged in Bhagavan. There cannot be sense control. Savai mana Krishna padara vindayo vacham vaikuntha gunano varnane karau hare mandiram archanadishu shrutim chakarachyuta satkadodaye. That's what Ambrish Maharaj did. In the beginning, in sadhana bhakti, it not that there is sense control in sadhana bhakti. There will be sense control, but there will be more than sense control. Bhakti yogi does not only do the sense control, but a bhakta is wanting to be under the control of Bhagavan. In order to please Krishna, the bhakti yogi wants to engage the senses in the service of Krishna. While doing so, the bhakti yogi gets closer to Bhagavan. While the bhakti yogi engages senses in the service of Krishna, not only he's gaining control over the senses, but he's getting closer to Bhagavan. These two things happen in bhakti yoga. In Ashtanga yoga, they barely control the senses. Even that is difficult. But in bhakti yoga, a bhakti yogi not only controls the senses, that will happen by default by engaging the senses in the service of the Lord Hrishikesha. The example is like this, that if somebody wants to eat some tasty, very tasty food, but if that tasty food is available outside, then because it is not offered to Krishna, one would not eat it, take it, because though it is tasty. But at the same time, when one decides to cook that for Krishna, the same dish, when one decides to cook for Krishna, cook the same thing at home and offer it to Krishna, then in the whole process of wanting to cook for Krishna, offer it to Krishna, and only honor it, in this whole process, the purification happens. Control over the senses come, and during this process, because of wanting to do everything for Krishna in order to get closer to Krishna, then there is control over the senses that comes, and there will be realizations of the futility of engagement of the senses, and there will be realization of how a higher taste, wanting a higher taste, being situated in the higher taste is more relishable than going after a lower taste. All these things happen because a devotee would not want to just yield to the senses, but want to engage the senses in the service of the Lord. Just taking any food outside is gone. Yield to the senses. Eat it because it's tasty. Gone. But take the prasadam only after it is offered to the Lord, is engaging the senses, same tongue. So, yukta āsīta mat-paraḥ, gaining control over the senses because we want to be controlled by Bhagavān. With a prayer and a purpose of wanting to be controlled by Bhagavān, that prayer and purpose itself can give sense control. That prayer and purpose can bring one out of the control by the senses. So Srila Prabhupada says that bring in Krishna, otherwise there will not be sense control. There is greater relishment, much greater relishment in being controlled by Guru and Krishna, instead of just trying to artificially control the senses. When one's purpose in prayer is wanting to be controlled by Guru and Krishna, then what sense control, mind control, everything happens. Everything happens. Being controlled by Guru and Krishna, greatest fortune, sweetest thing. Oh, very relishable mellow, Sharana, to stay in the Sharana, to relish that bhakti rasa is wanting to be controlled by Guru and Krishna. That's what Bhagavan does too. And that's why he has descended as Gaura. What is it Radharani is relishing so much? Radharani wants to be controlled by the desire of Krishna. Their free will itself is, I want to be controlled by you. That is their free will. That is relishing the bhakti rasa. There is zero controlling tendency. The only thing is, I want to be controlled by you. I want to play to your tunes, Krishna. I want to dance to your tunes, Krishna. You please control me. That's greater relishment than trying to control the senses, trying to control mind, trying to control people. All these are raso varjam, raso piyasya.